a moment, a season in my life. I put you in my plans. I did what I thought was right. I worked so hard just to watch it die. Sometimes you have to leave some things behind.
Hey, it's Blastzone Mike, and welcome to Blastzone Mike's Fire Rock TV show. And this is the last episode of season 3. And I have the privilege of talking to the icon, the whatever you want to call him, Mr. TikTok, Bobby Liebling from Pentagram. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, how are you again?
Pretty good, man. I think this will be the 4th time we've talked.
I don't know how many. I can't remember. A few times, though, at least, yeah.
Yeah. So you just got back from South America.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a blast.
And you did a West Coast tour with Pentagram.
Yeah, before that. Yep. Right.
And you're fixing on an East Coast tour and Australian tour, right?
We got the East Coast coming up in May, and then immediately after that, about 3 or 4 days, in fact, after the East Coast, when we go to Europe for a couple of weeks for that. And then we come back from Europe for one date in the U.S. Then we go back do a UK run, and then another European run, and then Australia and New Zealand.
Wow. So are you playing a lot of the festivals in Europe this summer? Is that what you're doing?
We're playing several of them. I'm not sure what all of them are. I know there's one in Poland. I can't remember the damn name of that one. And we are, again, appearing this year at Hellfest. So this will be the 4th time, I think, or 3rd time. No, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4th time at Hellfest, which is really fortunate to be able to do that. So
Let's not forget about Milwaukee Metal Fest and the Maryland Death, what's it
Death
called,
Fest.
Maryland Death
Yeah.
Fest or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Maryland Doom Fest, isn't it? Or Death Fest. I forget which one that one. We're playing actually the prerequisite to that. We're playing the night before the festival at Baltimore Soundstage is when we're going to be appearing.
Cool. And that's pretty much your stomping ground, right?
Yeah, it used to be. You know, I lived in Maryland for on and off for 20 years, and yeah, you might say that. But that's really about. I'm not a Baltimorean, I guess would be the name for people from Baltimore. Yeah, I never lived in Baltimore or really that close to Baltimore. I was about 35 miles away from Baltimore. I lived closer to Washington, D.C. always when I was in Maryland.
So I know you're in the sports. So who's your football team?
My football team, wow. That one's tough. It changes all the time. I have to say the Eagles, man, because they kick ass.
The Eagles. Yeah.
They are something heavy duty, man. I mean, come on. But I love Patrick Mahomes. So it was really a hard year for me because I was very torn, and Mahomes is one of the most brilliant quarterbacks in history of football. Let's face it. The guy's got a lot of brains and a lot of moxie. It's
Yeah,
great.
if people want to know more about him, they should go to Netflix and watch Quarterback.
Yeah.
It's behind the scenes about him and 3 other quarterbacks. And uh, I think that when you see things like that, Bobby, it makes people respect those guys a lot more, because they're showing their life and they're showing, how things are. It's
You
pretty
mean
neat.
off the field, you mean?
Yeah, off the field. On the field, too. The show's on the field, too, because they got microphones on them when they're talking on the field
Right.
for
So
the
it's an
show.
inside look at their thoughts, too.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. But anyway, so who's your favorite baseball team? Because I know you're into baseball, too.
My favorite baseball team's the Yankees, and except for the 5 or 6 years that I avidly followed the Nationals and loved the hell out of them when they were at their full strength in the late teens of the 20 years. Except for that, it's been the Yanks my whole life. I mean, I'm a Yankee fanatic, fan, hardcore. I just wish they hadn't gotten rid of Juan Soto. That broke my heart because he's my favorite player, probably almost ever in baseball's history. And I mean, I grew up, I saw Mickey Mantle and the real Yankee dynasty and people like that live. You know, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, those years of the Yankees' second dynasty. And but Aaron Judge is a beast, man. Let's face it. The guy's, a homer machine, and he's a great player and a great person apparently too. And I love the Yanks, man. I'm a New
Oh,
Yorker at heart. I wasn't born in New York like Wikipedia says. We had that yesterday on live broadcast. The first thing that the guy asked me on a live stream was, "Okay, yeah, and we got Bobby Liebling here, and I guess Bobby, you were born in Brooklyn, New York." And I said, "Nope." And he said, "Wikipedia is wrong." And I said, "Yeah, they're wrong about a hell of a lot of things." So
that's funny. So my last question about sports to you: should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
absolutely, absolutely. Come on, man. That's a criminal thing that they've done to Pete. Come on.
And everybody bets on stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
whether they're allowed to or not, we know that it's always going on. He just got caught.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
it's like one of those kind of things. Nevertheless, I think Pete should definitely be in there, man. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
it. So I got to talk about the elephant in the room. You have become a meme. You have become Mr. TikTok. You are like every time I turn on my YouTube, there's a damn video of you.
Yep, I'm a big joke finally.
But I mean, you take it in a fun way. You had some of the memes yourself.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, memes are funny. They're not meant in harm, and I take them for what they're worth. They're worth a good giggle or a hearty belly laugh or whatever. So
That's publicity that you couldn't even pay for.
right, you're damn right. Yeah, I mean
I
now
mean, shit.
it's close to 80 million views. I can't believe it. It's bizarre.
But you've been seeing it in your Spotify and your sales, right?
Oh yeah, our Spotify like 1 month ago we had about 80,000 approximate listeners a month on Spotify. Now we've got almost a half a million, so it kind of jumped up there.
Oh, you might actually make some money off Spotify.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the half a penny song, whatever the hell it is, might add up. In 20 years,
But,
of bucks, man, who knows? Whee!
have you now you did the American tour? I
Mhm.
mean the South American tour. Did you see a lot of people come up to you and say, "Hey, you're that guy in those videos" at all? Or
I
were
couldn't
people really
believe it
there for
on the
Pentagram?
yeah on the South American tour. I mean, not on the West Coast tour because it really hadn't come to happen per
Yeah.
se yet. It was at the tail end of that. But on the freaking South American tour, I mean, there were TSA cops in uniform with their gun on coming up like they're going to bust you, all serious, and walk up to you with the statute that they're supposed to have in their job, profile. Come, and hi, are you Bob Liebling? You're Robert Liebling or whatever. I say, yeah, yeah. And they go, can I have your autograph? And people behind the counters at the airlines, soccer moms, little groups of kids, the pilots on the planes. Uh, uh, it was fucking wild, man. Everywhere we went, the airports, we got lots of that. And also, of course, when we get right outside the airport, sometimes there were people, running after us and stuff. And outside our hotel all night long in some of the countries, like, I mean, around the clock, there were people like almost camped out waiting for you to come out of the fucking hotel, and
Did you have a lot of fans bring you stuff?
yes, I did on this tour. It was the first time. Yeah, some really neat rings and necklaces and portraits and all kinds of. It was really cool, man. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And hey, you know, uh, uh, besides having always gotten to, in quotes, live the life, uh, it's really kind of it's heartwarming much more now. And that kind of thing. I even had, man, I had my healthcare, what is it, the nurse's aid thing
Mhm.
that calls you up and does your televisit, for your health
Yeah.
provider, right? I had that this year, and the guy's talking to me, and he said, I have to ask you about allergies. So you're having an allergy to oxymethan. And he goes, and he stopped and just kind of froze. And I was looking, I was like, what's the guy doing? You know what? You're that guy, aren't you? And I cracked up. I couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, I guess I'm that guy. And he
Yeah,
said, I
it's
see you everywhere there is to show something, from Reddit to X to this to that, all the platform formats and stuff like that all over. So he knew too. And he said, wow, I'm talking to a star. And I said, no, you're talking to a patient,
it's
a
you
client.
know, I've always said that you were very deserving of it, man. You know,
Thank you.
I've got a lot of people that you know, they're on my Facebook,
Mhm.
and I've defended you several times, and tell people that if you don't know the story, don't talk about it, and just saying just hateful shit. It was one of those things where you know I felt like I had to say something because
Well, that's cool.
if people don't know you, they can't talk about you. All they know is the documentary, the incident that happened with your mom, the drug use over the years, but they don't know the Bobby Liebling today
Well,
because
they've never
uh,
known them. They've never known me because people who talk that kind of shit haven't taken the time to. I mean, it's like my dad. My dad in the movie even said, "One, everybody says we should throw him out of the house, get rid of him." And I said, "Do you know my son? Have you ever met him?" And I was like, "No." You know,
yeah,
it's just one
exactly.
of those things. I don't. I let it roll off my back nowadays. It's
But
like my father taught me. I don't stress about things that I have absolutely no control over, and I don't over those things. So fuck them. Who cares?
and the thing about it is, Tony wouldn't be playing with you, and all these other guys that are professional musicians wouldn't be playing with you. But looking at the South American videos and the West Coast videos I've watched on YouTube, the band is great together. How? Let me ask you about that real quick. How? I know that you got together with Tony and now you've done uh, the new album, Lightning in a Bottle. But how did all that come together? How did Tony get involved in all the rest of the elements?
Tony got involved by way of Henry, and Henry's the first one who really sort of brought the idea up initially. Some year and a half ago, or roughly. Henry wanted to play with me his whole career, and I had other obligations and so forth and so on. And then Tony got on board with Henry, and they recorded stuff. Initially for sending to me that was especially written per se for me to feed into and to write along with and join in the recording or the writing of process, I suppose. And I didn't have the time at the time to do those things. And then there came of course the parting of the ways, which was amicable and loving between the last inception of Pentagram uh, and myself, because they were not able uh, to play for as many dates as I have to play and feel the need to play as well. And they have other things with family obligations and businesses, which there's absolutely nothing
Mhm.
wrong. I commend that too. They have a career that they want to prioritize, just as I have a career, one only though, which they have a dual career or something like that. They had which was one, the band, and also something else. But I didn't, and I had to keep playing. So hey, we gotta. Sorry, but we've got to, part. And it was great doing it, and great years, lots of years, and so forth. But so anyway, when we did, I got back in touch right away with Henry, and he had Tony and Scooter all on board, ready to do something. And they had recorded those songs, previous to the meeting and anything
Hmm.
about a year ago. And I didn't do anything with them because I was on my last couple of dollars living in a hotel room, about to be totally homeless at the time, and had a little more priority on my mind right then.
Yeah.
It wasn't writing into songs, or listening to all these songs, but it was staying alive, and not not having the band as such, and so forth. So at that time, I got in touch with Henry. He said, "Okay, well, we'll fly you out to Tony's in Seattle and try to record some of the stuff and all that, blah blah." And when I got to Seattle, which was in the early part of August last year, um, I had never met Tony or Scooter in my life. Okay. And I had known Henry through the years, on off meetings and crossing paths and stuff, for about
Hmm.
40 years, really. And Henry had been at Tony's a couple weeks earlier than me, re recording drum tracks and so forth and so on, and writing also more songs at that time, like about 8 or 10 more songs. So there were, all of a sudden, there were 20 songs to choose from
Wow.
to record or not for Lightning in a Bottle. And when I got to Seattle, I had never met Tony in my entire life, or Scooter, and I got to meet him the night before I went in the studio and did all the vocals,
Wow.
with no planning and no application of word sheets to any music in particular. And I hadn't heard half the music at all. The other half was got sent to me on my phone a year earlier, and I'd listened to it 3 or 4 times. But when I got there, the next day, we went in the recording studio, and Henry and Tony, Scooter was busy dealing with some other issues at the time, but Henry and Tony played me uh, all the songs, and each time we get to a song that I fancied instrumentally and raw track recording of, I'd say, all right, let's give that one a shot. And I'd take one of my lyric sheets of something randomly into the recording booth and put it on a stand, and they'd run the song and uh, kind of give me maybe a little pointer here or there, or an idea of where they want the vocals in what part, or they just leave it blank and I just sing. And I sang each song and usually did 1 or 2 takes, and they were done.
So, so lightning in the bottle.
It was
You
lightning.
said-
It was lightning in a bottle. It was magic.
you foreshadowed what actually happened to you because you caught lightning in the bottle.
Decided that we wanted to call the album that, because we figured, hey, we did capture lightning in a bottle. This is like a fluke miracle that we pulled off in no time flat. All the
Yeah.
tunes was tracked. The album tracks were done in about 3.5 days of 5 hours a day. I did the single track, then double tracked all of them, and then put the harmonies behind where they were fitted accordingly, and got all the vocals done, in about, I don't know, 20 hours.
So, so lightning in a bottle. There's two versions that's heavy side sound. There's one there's the original one, and then you have another version that has three extra songs on it.
Right, the
Correct?
deluxe one has 3 extra songs because the album, they wanted 11 songs, and then they wanted a deluxe version, which is actually 2 extra songs, and the bare rough track part of Lady Heroin. There's 2 recordings of that. One was kind of spiffed up and produced
Mhm.
for the finished, but yeah, there's 13 actually altogether. Uh,
And then they actually re-released several Pentagram albums, right?
yeah, Heavy Psych had previous to that had re-released Sub Basement and Review Your Choices. just about simultaneously. And then the day that Lightning in a Bottle came out, or actually about a few days or a week before, they re-released Show 'Em How too. So they were riding on all those things also.
And
Coattails.
all those are, if you go to Heavy Side Sounds, you can see that I love their website because it shows you each color of the vinyl. It shows you test pressings, black, and that's with any band there. But if you go, you can see that uh, the Pentagram albums have sold out. Some of them, there's none available, and
Right. I haven't looked myself. I don't know what you're telling me, but yeah, I
beautiful,
believe it. I mean, hope so.
beautiful colors, man.
Hope so.
And
I'm not. I don't know. I don't look at it because I'm not into all the colored vinyl 18 types of release. Some people are and some aren't. And because I don't pay a lot of attention to that, and especially in this go round, Lightning in a Bottle was released in so many goddamn forms. I can't even know how many color combos there are and all this stuff. So, I don't really pay that much mind. But yeah, they did a bang up job on. Uh, I can call it overkill, but on advertising the album, and
you have most of that on tour with you, right?
we have the normal version of the album on tour, and the normal version of the CD, which there's only one issue actually, the CD, and CD has the extra songs added to it, also, like the deluxe album did. The deluxe album's been
And
sold out once or twice already, I believe. So
how's how's merchandise been on tour, like shirts and stuff like that?
bombastic. I've never experienced anything even a hair close to this in Pentagram's history of the sales of merch and the items that are thought up by the crew, headed up by Henry's expertise on this stuff is absolutely freaking remarkable. And he goes over all that with me and with Tony and Scooter before we send to the creators. Our ideas are the whole input. We are self-contained on our merchandise totally. We decide what the design will be. We design what the color combos will be. We design what the items are going to be too. Like this time, upcoming on our American one, we've got finally actual very heavy sterling silver pentagram rings that we're going to be putting out there too. I'm
Oh,
not going to
no.
get into the design, but that
Yeah.
we got skateboards, we got hats, we got shirts, we got stickers, buttons, pictures that are autographed. It goes on and on, man. We got so much freaking merchandise. I've never seen anything at a Judas Priest or Iron Maiden concert that's close. Not close.
Well, just make sure because I want to see you in Nashville. Hopefully, I'm coming to Nashville, which is the last show on the American tour.
Right?
If you can, make sure you got some bigger sizes, like 4 or 5X.
4 or 5X. My God, you're not a tree, are you? Redwood?
I'm in a 4 to 5X now, depending on the shirt.
You're kidding. Come on.
No, no,
Our
no.
shirts run big. I can't imagine that. I mean, that's. Do you weigh 400, 500 pounds?
No, I'm at 330.
Then you don't need that big one. A 3X will fit.
Maybe sometimes they do, but
Yeah,
mostly
they
I
will.
look in
Our
the
shirts
store.
kind of tend to run large as such, and we have them all made by you know, certain
Yeah,
people.
well,
All the mass produced ones. Let's put it that way. We also have some fluke ones that we throw into a big box all over the place that are like there might be 2 of, or 10 of, or 6
yeah.
of that just happen to. There, some of them are misprints. Some of them are just we did the wrong kind of shirt. It's okay. Well, let's sell these too.
Uh,
We got drum heads signed by Henry as used. Just like on this tour, we have monogrammed the picture of the cover of Lightning in a Bottle on Henry's drum heads.
oh, nice,
Yeah, and they're on his
nice.
drums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool as shit, man.
yeah, I've never seen
Well,
that.
you know
That's
what? Like I said, I hope to see you in Nashville, the last show.
mm.
Um, and how can people reach out to you that
They
might
can
want
reach
to
out
get
through
autograph stuff?
through 2 major ways now. because there are a couple of things that have become obsolete in our mind and to our use.
Mm-hmm.
The Facebook website is called Pentagram in capital letters band. That's the Pentagram website now on Facebook. It was
Okay.
Pentagram official formerly and so forth. We're no longer using that. And we're trying to steer everyone that we can over to the new one, Pentagram, capital letters band. And on Instagram, that has a couple of incorrect things too. The Heavy Psych uses one of them. One of them was an older one that Greg created in the former days. But we use small letters, pentagram, underslash, the underslash band. Pentagram, underslash, the underslash band. That is our official website. That's where you can message us. And for now, you can obtain merchandise through that site too. Really soon, our eBay store is going up, and it's going to have so many items. I can't believe it, but that's
So when you're on tour, do you all at the merch table only have Pentagram stuff, or is there Tony stuff from Moss Generator and his solo album?
Sometimes there is limited stuff that's Moss Generator oddity, or possible like Savant Guard Records does the Crossroads CD, which was a band that I was in for 2 months in 1980 that had the
Oh,
rehearsal tape recorded. Some oddity items, but for the most part, let's say it's 90%, plus Pentagram stuff, 95. Yeah.
I have Tony's album that he did with Ripple, his solo album.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come, I'll probably bring it where I can
Yeah,
have
you can.
Tony sign it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you can do that for sure. I mean, we're happy to sign stuff. Oh, I'll say for the most part nowadays in South America, it was really wild. We brought so much less merchandise because of the bootleggers down there having a circus outside each concert with all kinds of their T-shirts and hats and socks and God
Yeah.
knows what trinkets and pictures, and you can't stop it in South America. So we just kind of giggle it off because hey, there's two aspects you can look at. It takes the hell out of the money out of our pocket and mouth, but it also is they do it actually in a strangely loving kind of way. They do it because they're proud to represent the band,
Oh,
but they keep all the money too.
yeah.
So we made a few deals with them when we were down there, and we bought some
Yeah.
cool stuff ourselves. Actually, I've got Pentagram shot glasses from South America, and I've got
Wow.
Pentagram cups. Here, let me show you. From the Brazilian days.
Oh, wow. Those are nice.
Yeah, lightning in a bottle cups.
And I was going to wait to announce this, but I guess we can announce it now because I'm pretty proud of the situation. You are, like I said, the last interview in season 3,
Mm-hmm.
but season four's intro and outro is going to be what?
You told me it's lightning in a bottle.
It
And it's
is
pretty cool.
lightning in the bottle.
Pretty cool clip.
By Pentagram. So the intro and outro for season 4 will be Pentagram, and it will be lightning in a bottle. And he's already seen the intro, and what an amazing intro Chris made for us.
Yeah, it's really good. It's cool.
It's freaking amazing, and I can't wait for the world to see it. And we will June 6th. You all will see it on the first interview for the season 4. And
Sounds
I
good.
want to thank Bobby for allowing me to do that. That means a lot to me because my friendship with you means a lot to me. And yeah, man, it's just awesome that you know I'm going to be able to use the music. And everybody go out and buy Lightning in the Bottle on vinyl, on CD, on digital. It's everywhere you go and buy digital tunes or listen to it on Spotify. Make sure you get some of that limited vinyl because there's some nice vinyl that came out of that and the deluxe version and the other albums. So Heavy Psych Sounds really did a good production for Pentagram, and I'm so happy for you, Bobby. You just don't know, man.
Thank you.
Uh,
Appreciate that, Mike. Really.
I think the world of you. I mean, we met in a crazy way, but then we become really good friends over the last year,
Absolutely.
and I really appreciate it. I can't wait to meet you in Nashville, hang out, talk shit,
Yeah. Looking forward.
whatever.
I'm a Sunday morning sinner in a white church, on my knees praying till it hurts, in the back row with all the other lost souls. I'm a double shot of whiskey in a dive bar, a cowboy looking for a wild card I can take home. For the sun, I'm long gone.